anyị na Chineke nna nke pụrụ ihe niile. Onye ọ bụ naanị ya na-azọpụta. Onye ọ bụ naanị ya bụ okwu ya niile bụ ihe na amen. Anyị wee na-asị ezi ebube dị ngọzi na n'ụtụtụ na ịja mma na nsọpụrụ site n'ebighị ebi ma ruo n'ebighị ebi. Ise, ise, ise.
Welcome, my amazing viewers. Thank you so much for joining me on my program once again. I appreciate you wherever you are joining from. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please kindly subscribe to my channel. Click the notification bell so that you're notified each time I upload a video. You will be among the first to receive it. Thank you so much and remain blessed. If you are joining me from Africa, Asia, Europe, America, Australia, or any part of the world, I thank you very much for your contribution. Please, each time you watch my video, go to the comment section and put down your comments. That is
if he wants to retire me tomorrow, I will retire with honor. That is the way military is. Because if you do not separate politics away from facts of security, facts, the principles of providing security management to your country, I'm very sorry. And today, if you give an assessment by yourself, you know what is going on. And if you look at this year's stick and look at events and occurrences in Nigeria, you will surely shed tears and you'll be disturbed. So many people are swimming out of ignorance of this. And you see them hitting their chest, will take care of it. I tell you one thing, the Ragtag Army, how many were they in 1999, January 1st when they started? Do you know why I'm keeping to this date? They came to me when I was in Kirikiri, and they wanted the police I trained in the 90s. Because police were brought to be presidential escort team. It's 2 mobile units. And each unit, I think, was made up of 210 or so. Those they were bringing to the presidency by 2. I refused all of them to hold arms in the presidency. And I refused all of them the chance to even come near until you go through my school. If you qualify, you are with us. If you fail to qualify, you cannot be to us, even if you are the son of the president. And I made it in black and white clear. And police fought me, the IG fought me, the NSC at that time fought me. But I stand on my own. One day, God Almighty vindicated me. Not because I wanted it, but he vindicated me. We had President Eyadima of Togo who visited Nigeria. Suddenly, a Browning submachine gun fell from the hand of a mobile police, and it kept firing. He see a visiting president, see Nigerian president, see ministers were jumping. It was one of the bodyguards who lied on it and changed the face. Okay, nobody died, but there were injuries. You know the meaning of that? If that had hit the Nigerian president or the visiting president or his minister or any military officer or senior officer, you know what we are allowing to carry weapons around us? You know for how long it takes for them to say, I have groomed them and trained them, and they now know what it takes to become a police officer, and you give them arms to your country, and the moment you see them in uniform, you believe them. That's dangerous working around you. So I don't believe in that condition, that training in itself. That's why I said, police will be X-rayed, and I am not mixing words. The police of Nigeria will be real police when we finish, and the yardstick will be there, and they will be adjusted to suit time. But police will have one out of the 3 that I talked about will now be centralized. So if the police are working this way, something else will watch the police for the good, for the welfare, for the services, for sincerity, and for openness and the comfort of a citizen in Nigeria.
So, Doctor, you've been able, from all the explanations you gave, it is very, very important to note that they are all tied to one, security, because you mentioned the judiciary, you mentioned our business, our economy, you mentioned
everything.
The value of the Niger.
You don't even have to mention any.
Yes.
In everything, there is security connotations involved. Anything in life.
Yes. But Nigerians will want to understand your language.
Yes.
Because they want, if you want them to vote for you,
yes,
they will want to understand how you intend to give them succor. In all of
don't mix my words.
Yes.
When it comes to welfare, safety, and security of Nigeria, I am not campaigning.
Okay.
I want to be in any part of the world and know my country is secured. I want to be seen to be old, and then when I look at my younger ones, I know they're in a secured environment. I want to sit down and be proud of my environment, not a caricature of what we are seeing today that is snowballing into something bigger. If you sit down and study what happened in Somalia, that speaks. And numerous other war-torn countries. Not far from, not some few years right from 80s, you saw what happened in Liberia. You saw what happened in Sierra Leone. And we all participated in it, and we know what it is. People who have not seen war, do not know the effect of war, are the people crying for crisis and war. They don't know it. They don't know the effect. Have you ever sit down and see people eating raw animals? They have to survive. There is no water, no food. We are toying with the country. And that's why, if I were to be in service today, and if the leadership will refuse me whatever I come up with, I'm giving an example, and I'm saying this boldly on television. I will resign, I will make a pronouncement, and I will go to court.
Your party slogan
Right.
simply says, let the masses lead.
Absolutely. And I'm standing by that.
Good. Now, are you disappointed, given your military background, that a retired general of the Nigerian Army is in charge today and Nigeria is in such a shape?
You see, decades we inherited these problems. You remember I went to prison. I was persecuted deeply.
For over 12 years.
For over some of these roles I played. I'm not a compromising person when it comes to Nigeria's welfare and well-being. You can jail me again, but I stand by that. I can never change. And we believe this country deserves better. If you know what makes Nigeria from what God has given to us beneath the earth, if you know the quantity, if you know typical from our culture, from our history, from what is at the top of our soil, if you sit down and look at Nigeria from that perspective alone, then you now sit down and compare Nigeria with all members of G7 without exception. Nigeria is ahead of them. I'm saying this on television, and I can prove that to you. And yet we are making nonsense of it. Who are we before God Almighty? Who are we to our families? Who are we to the general public? Deceits? I'm not that part. It is better for me to offend Nigerians who believe that you have to do it their own way, and then be seen to be free in the sight of God Almighty than otherwise. That's my nature, that's my spirit, that's the way I'm brought up, and that's the culture we were given. Remember, Nigeria is zoned into 6, correct? Who zoned Nigeria into 6? And why? Why didn't they change it? They were persecuting me, but they kept the structures, and this came from us, me, this small man you are seeing. Why are you still using it? And we created so many things, but we're not the type that blow our trumpet. We don't talk. We don't talk. We have the country before us.
Okay, Doctor, you see, now that you're going into election, and you want to be president, you had said in some places, in some fora, that your loyalty is the reason why you want to be president.
Absolutely
correct. To Nigeria.
Yes.
You have also mentioned that the world is changing.
Right.
Let me quote you. The world is changing, and we are not changing with the world.
Correct.
We have huge number of unemployed youths. Most of them are brilliant youths, and we are not in their strength. So what do you intend to do?
Very simple. Have you seen, because you haven't seen it before, there is one particular leadership that wanted to do it, but their hands were tied down by IMF. We are ready to commit international offenses to better Nigeria. I'm not hiding it. I will do it. Meaning, there are latitudes open in creativity, innovations through bilateral means, meaning puncturing some of our diplomatic challenges to establish numerous friends around the world. And out of that opening, there are ways to create wealth before we even take off. You create wealth for your people. The unemployed, I have so many things to do for them. There is no reason for poverty in Nigeria. I will do that from outside and take my words. If God grants us the means, I know what to do to create billions, hundreds of billions of dollars from outside. Is our secret. It's our secret simply because in governance, there are very few people to trust. Some are just there campaigning just to go in and attack the treasury. They take everything to themselves. And when another election comes, they come to tell you lies. Well, not that. This country is what is before us. That's why at intermittent break, sometimes we want to be very happy to look at those who believe they are the ones who call themselves holier than thou. We face each other and the media will cover. There are questions we ask them from their misdeeds yesterday. There are questions we'll ask some of them from their capacity. There are questions we'll ask some of them from their imaginary sense of what governance is all about. You have to work hard. You have to take risk. You have to keep data. You have to verify data. You have to subject it to continual verification as time goes by, as events are all around the world and in your own country. So to Nigeria and the unemployed, to me, we will have heavy investment, not only that, in technological economic support for Nigeria, technological security support for Nigeria, reward, welfare, empowerment. I'm not talking of giving somebody 100, is it 100,000? 100,000 or 20,000? If we are talking about that, then that is a joke. You look at your inflation indices and now ask yourself, what is 100,000? Even if it is, let's assume it is 100,000. A joke? But there is somebody somewhere from the survey we did secretly, indirect means of going to our embassies, ministries and parastatals. If you know the colossal waste by the day, by the whole year, you see that if you look in retrospect, a fiscal budget at the end of the year, you will definitely shed tears. And there are many people who supposedly are supposed to be leaders. They are supposed to be fathers, grandmothers, mothers. And then you sit down and see what they have done with the ministry, what they have done with resources. That alone, if you can sit down and take the waste of a typical fiscal year, that we have conducted survey to ourselves on behalf of Nigerians. And you look at that, you look at the waste in your parastatals, you sit down and see the enormous money wasted to the pockets of some few individuals who do not know how to pay zakat. They don't know how to pay tithe. In fact, the more money they take, the more dry leaves you see. The thirst for looking for more is much more than even the desire of having to say, I thank God, I have stolen this much, let me be seen to part with this to support the younger ones. No, they will not. The more you see them, the more you contact them, the more you hear that I have nothing to do with the poor. But besides, if he can move the West that we have seen and known, then definitely take it from me. The unemployed world may be much more happier coming up with their creativity. That's why the unemployed world to us, in every senatorial zone, there will be a skill acquisition center. And the certificate to be awarded at the end of the day will be the yardstick of communication. There are banks to be empowered with this money you will have from outside Nigeria, and empower these banks to attend to specific people, not only the younger ones, including the old ones, including farmers, fishermen, women, and numerous. The fact that you have worked as a civil servant 35 years and now you are retired, it doesn't mean you are satisfied with your pension. This bank, you can just go to school acquisition center and learn anything, and that will be the yardstick for you to collect money. Remember, there are numerous ways of introducing welfare to citizenry in any country. Nigeria has much more. Forget about what you see some countries, I don't want to mention anybody, what they do for their citizenry. You take calculation of your number. You take every single trade and document it. That will tell you what you have on the ground. With this, you can easily plan. And then come back and now see. There are some people in Nigeria and some foreign forces who will say, never allow Nigeria to export and never allow them to have the strength to manufacture and export. That's why any person in Manufacturers Association of Nigeria is just there doing his best. That's why you can identify patriots, men and women. They love the country. They are producing. What they are producing cannot be exported. And the question is, why are they not being supported? Why are not being protected? Why not being complemented to export? It's a game that started since 1971. Are you aware of it? The more Nigeria becomes an important country, the greater the chances of a certain clique of people and some certain major countries that are bringing their equipment to us. Your power was deliberately shortened. Are you aware of it? Are you aware of something called dirty district transformer politics? From deliberate explosion, that is make-up, when Nigeria was in ECN, to the time it became NEPA, when explosion was the order of the day, and in the real sense, nothing happened to the generator, where foams are brought with copper wire tied to the positive and negative and then clicked and slicked. And at the end of the day, when the copper wire becomes red, and then the foam gets burnt, the cover of a typical transformer is an airtight and watertight. But where it becomes too much, it bolts out. And then it trips up. Watch my word, it trips up. And the entire neighborhood will think their transformer is blown. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. That was one of the games yesterday. When the transformer is there, all you have to do is to clean it up the top. Remove the copper wire, trip it up, on, and then close. You have your power back. But then here, the witnesses in the district will become the witnesses. When forms are brought that time, people will sign as witnesses of the blown transformer. They will come and take it away. While they are doing this to District A, they are also doing it to District B, District C, and B, and then they will say, okay, this is our budget for this month. They will all report that their transformers are blown, but within the month. At the end of the day, there will be entry to the government that social transformers are blown. So it is in State A, State B, State C. So if you put it together, you know that this is a huge contract that will empower international companies, empower international agents, and their domestic supporters, Nigerians. And when it goes, 2, 3, 4 months after, in these districts, remember, some of them are where you have your industries. So you will have to wait until 3 months, while every hour means something to a producer. If 3 months, this comes and on and on and on. That's why today, multiply that by time, from north to south. Other than one state right now that innovated something that we have as a secret in helping Nigeria, all the industrial areas yesterday are sorry side, they are just ghosts. Right. One of the most difficult things, and with that alone, there is no way you can be identified as a productive person. With that alone, there is no way you can export. With you not exporting, then you are a consumer economy. A consumer economy is the sorry side. No matter how rich you think you are, your naira is not competing with anything. What you have, you cannot even take. And today, that's why every single garbage, every single dirt are cleaned up and imported onto you to take. And we are taking, while this is a major, powerful country, Nigeria.
Yes. Dr. Mustafa, you have some very brilliant ideas. But my worry is if your party, Action Alliance, believes in some of these policies and projections that you are making. And again, if you become president, you will be operating in a democratic environment, clearly different from the military environment in which you operated previously.
I know where you're heading. First of all, I answer you happily this way. Action Alliance shares common ideology with us. That's why I'm happy. And with the extent of researches we have done in and outside Nigeria, I'm very comfortable with the party I have, number one. Number two, educating Nigerians on the dangers that we are in and why we should be seen to be who we should be. That makes me comfortable, because when people feel pains of their situation, solutions are easily accepted. That's why even today, a situation where a wild elephant is disturbing a village, but the fact that you got a small dog barking, the fact that the dog has nothing to do with the elephant, you can't do anything to the elephant, but people are saying, well done dog, well done dog. This is where we are right now in Nigeria. Right. Now, second is to tell you, this is democratic setting. If these lofty ideas cannot go through, it is simply because we have refused to educate, we have refused to mobilize. If people are educated and effectively mobilized, if we look at the challenges in our diplomatic approach to having international relationship, if we check the connotations and in fact the knobs tied as obstacles against our international trade, if we carry manufacturers association along with us, if we carry farmers and fishermen with us, if we educate the younger ones and even in schools with us, if we also look at our curriculum and remove and then add some certain things that were removed, most unfortunately at the early 20s, aim at destroying Nigeria. I know I can tell you, but one thing before I answer you is to tell you that all I have told you here is at the surface of what we have. Right, if we are to talk about what we have, then we need days and days with you. And we need to take every sector for us to be detailed. And in our manifesto is divided into three. One, the issues that everybody knows. And some people don't know because they do not know the extent that they can mention them at the surface. We now sit down to take every single matter, every single damage to the country, every single wound. We sit down and examine it medically, and then keep the solution. Solution A is the one that we apply at home. Solution B is the one that requires international support. Solution C is our strategic investment in that problems for Nigerians. So even when we leave tomorrow, people will thank God Almighty. There are layers of solutions laid for them. Solutions attended to. This will never occur again. That's what we do. And you know the enormity of work done then.
Doctor, you're going into an election. Do you trust the electoral umpire? And if you do trust them, do you also trust those that are in the race with you? Because there are people who are saying people go against the law. And what do you have to say about that?
First of all, we as a party, and me as candidate, and my brothers and sisters as candidates in all states, we are law-abiding, we are peace-loving people, we are tireless people, we see ourselves as laborers and ready to serve. No firm fears, no rhetorics of any sort. This is the way we look at it. This is the way we look at the opportunity of us coming as candidates. We see ourselves as true ambassadors, not only of our parties, but of democracy. That aside, it is disturbing today to say there is Party A that have already started campaigning, while the law says till 28th of September, and it is going on. One of my worries today as a person, and I know I'm speaking on behalf of my party and other candidates, maybe some other parties, is to say that why should the law be disobeyed? And why should the umpire...
No. When you take the history of Nigeria, from the very beginning, when we were amalgamated, to the very beginning we became a nation, we got it altogether wrong. You bring in people of different culture, different beliefs, different socialization, different milieu, different outlooks, merge them together by force to form a nation. Only the initial builders of Nigeria had a clear vision and a mission, devoid of any sentiment. Soon thereafter, it became clear that it was a wrong union. It was a union that was not properly negotiated. We could have remained a great country if we had isolated our own identities, peculiarities, culture, while contributing to build a nation just like America. But we ended up having people from one generation, one set of leaders to another, everybody coming with a vision and a mission, and destroying the previous ones he made, even if they are good, because they are put in place by an imaginary enemy. Secondly, we have a nation where we celebrate criminals. It is only in Nigeria that somebody will clearly steal and loot hugely from the public treasury, and then after some times you see him receiving national honors, you see him being given chieftaincy titles, you see him being called king, prince, or an emir. That is an indicator that we are yet to be there. We also form a nation. Only the initial builders of Nigeria had a clear vision and a mission, devoid of any sentiment. Soon thereafter, it became clear that it was a wrong union. It was a union that was not properly negotiated. We could have remained a great country if we had isolated our own identities, peculiarities, culture, while contributing to build a nation just like America. But we ended up having people from one generation, one set of leaders to another, everybody coming with a vision and a mission, and destroying the previous ones he made, even if they are good, because they are put in place by an imaginary enemy. Secondly, we have a nation where we celebrate criminals. It is only in Nigeria that somebody will clearly steal and loot hugely from the public treasury, and then after some times you see him receiving national honors, you see him being given chieftaincy titles, you see him being called king, prince, or an emir. That is an indicator that we are yet to be there. We also have a complacent followership, a followership that is satisfied with collecting 500 naira to vote, 1,000 naira to vote, a bar of soap, a tin of milk. On that basis, he surrenders his franchise. It means we are not conscious of our civic duties and responsibilities as a nation. Majority of the common people that are complaining now are also contributing to the destruction of the country in collaboration with the colleagues of the elites. While the elites are losing the treasury, they are hailing them. Today, If a northerner were to be caught stealing 10 billion naira and he is taken to court, believe me honestly, you will see northern organizations, northern elites, some of them saying that he is being persecuted because he's a northerner, because he's a Muslim.
We also saw it in southern Nigeria.
We had such an incident. I can give you, if you give me time. A former managing director of a bank in Nigeria, in northern Nigeria, in between his wife, his house girl, his younger brother, himself, stole 3 billion naira directly from shareholders' money.
Allegedly.
Yeah, no. Just wait. He was taken to court, and he appeared only once. Before the next adjournment date, two prominent Islamic scholars, a member of Jama'at al-Nasr al-Islam, and an elder went and visited the president, interceded on his own behalf. By the next adjournment date, the Attorney General entered a nolle prosequi in his own favor. 4 years after...
And that was the end of the case.
4 years after, I saw his name with OON, without being extended presidential political diplomacy, without degazetting his name. Until they degazetted him, I still have the gazette. He has not been degazetted. 9 years after, another governor from South, maybe he was looking for GCON because this one was...
Thank you so much for your patience to watch from the beginning to the end. I hope you have learned something from the video you have just watched. The video you have just watched is to bring information to your doorstep and for educational purpose. It is not to demonize anybody. Let us watch continuously and see who can be able to make a sense out of every nonsense we are seeing. We must continue. We move. It doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter what they say. They will kill us. We will kill them. At the end of the day, Biafra is here. Thank you for watching. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please kindly subscribe to the channel. Click the notification bell so that you're notified each time I upload a video. You will be among the first to receive it. Thank you and remain blessed. Bye-bye. See you again.